Hello, my middle schoolers. It's Miss Rebecca. This week we're learning all about texture. Texture is an element of art that is very important because it's the way that an artwork might feel to the touch. Textures they could be sharp, they could be smooth, they could be jagged, they could be bumpy, they could be furry. Every way an artwork might feel is the texture of the artwork. And that's what we're going to explore today. We're going to create a beautiful sunflower. You guys ready to try this art project? Come on, let's go. Okay, this lesson is all about texture. Texture is the way something feels. So when something feels bumpy or jagged or lumpy to the touch, that means it has a lot of texture. So today we're going to create a sunflower that has a lot of texture, like this. What you guys will need is 2 plates, 2 paper plates, 1 piece of blue paper, 2 pieces of green paper. You're going to need scissors, you're going to need your watercolors, and you're going to need some glue. And black beans, or any kind of beans if you have them. Okay, so let's get started. First, I want you to take your 2 plates, put them together. So you have 2 plates together at once, okay? Now, we're gonna not use this side, which is the the top side. We're gonna use the back of the plate, okay? What I want you to do is just start to cut little triangle shapes, 2 diagonal cuts, and space them out going all the way around. We're cutting 2 plates at once right now. See that? We're cutting 2 at once. So hold it tight and make a diagonal cut and another diagonal cut to create a triangular shape that you're cutting into the plate all the way around. We're going to go all the way around. So it is a diagonal, which is just a slanted cut to make those triangle cuts out of the edge of the plate. All right, set those triangles aside, you don't need them. Now, keep your plate together and just round out the edges so that they're not sharp and pointy. You could just cut them off like that, cut them off like that, or if you want to be fancy, round your scissor. Cut them off, cut off the little edges, because these are going to be the petals of your flower. So I'm cutting off the little sharp edges. Doesn't have to be perfect. You can see mine's not perfect. Boop, just like that. Get rid of all your scraps. Doot doot. Okay, so now you should have 2. They already look kind of like flower shapes. Okay, so now you're going to take your 2 flowers and we're going to paint them yellow. So take your watercolors, take your yellow, make sure you have a lot of water inside the color that you're going to use, and we're just going to paint around the petals. Okay, so I did the top one. I'm going to set this one aside. And now I'm going to do the second one. Make sure you put a lot of water inside the yellow. Paint the petals, painting the petals. Keep going around. and around. Okay, now set those aside so they can dry a little bit. Take your green paper and your blue paper, and we're going to glue them together. With the blue on top and the green on the bottom, okay? So I'm going to take my glue, make a straight line going across, and just glue these two pieces of paper together. Ooh, just like that. All right, flatten it down, flatten it down. Okay, now, take your last green paper here, and what we're going to do is create some fringing on the bottom that represents the grass. So just fold your paper into strips. One strip, take your scissor and cut that strip out. Fold your paper over to make a strip. Cut that strip. Fold your paper over to make a strip. Cut that strip out right there. So now I have about 4 strips of paper, okay? I'm going to put them all together, and now I'm going to make a texture by just cutting lines like this. And notice I'm doing all of them at once so that it's making this fringy, grassy texture right here. But I'm not cutting it all the way off. If you accidentally cut all the way through, just keep it because you could still use it. So while our flowers are drying, we're making the grass. Okay. Okay, now set that aside. You have your paint, so let's make a green wavy line right through the green part, right through the middle of the green. That's going to represent the stem of our flower. Okay, so now we're going to take the green fringes, okay? This line should have been through the middle of your paper. It's your wavy line going through the middle. Now we're going to do one fringe at a time. So go like you're making an X now, okay? You have your wavy line through here. Now just make through the middle, make a horizontal line of glue and place your fringe on it. And we're going to do that again. Place a horizontal line of glue and press your fringe onto it. See that texture coming up? Place a line of glue. Put down your fringe. Place the last line of glue, should be on the bottom of your paper, and place your fringe textured grass. So now you have a lot of texture, right? It's something you could feel, it's sticking up, and this is a simple fringing technique made with scissors. Okay, so now we're going to take our 2 flowers, and they should be somewhat dry, okay? Take one, just make a circle of glue around it, and press the second one on top. But notice that I'm going to make it not so that they're completely stacked perfectly. I'm going to make it so you can see the top petal and the bottom petal at the same time, because I'm going to pull these up a little bit. Pull up the top petals so that way they're sticking out. And you can still see the back petals, right? Okay. So now we're going to glue this on. So just do another circle of glue and press it somewhere on top of that stem. Press down and just hold it down. Hold it down, press it down. Now we have this petal texture because you could feel it. It's not smooth. And we have this cool fringing texture. Now, take your paint again. We're going to paint this inside here black. So put your little puddle of water inside your black watercolor and do that circle. Does it have to be a perfect circle? No. Okay, we've got our black circle. Now, if you don't have beans, you can leave your picture just like this, okay? But if you want more texture, because this week's all about texture, now take your glue, and this could still be wet, but you could wait for it to dry if you're more comfortable. We're gonna take our glue, and we're just gonna put enough glue. I'm just going to do a spiral. You can kind of see the spiral with the glue, because I'm using clear glue. Just put a lot of glue right there. Now, I'm just gonna take a handful of my beans, and I'm gonna sprinkle them on there. I'm gonna sprinkle them on there to make it look like the inside of a sunflower. Now you could be more fancy and put these in rows. So you could be, if you're a very careful person, you could do each one and it could follow around the circle. And you could really take your time doing that and go all around, very particular and very precise. But I'm just gonna sprinkle them on. Like that. And if a bean gets away, just pick him up. All right, so there we go. This is our textured sunflower. If you want to get fancy, you can add more clouds up here, or birds, or an umbrella with a little person in the background. It's up to you, okay? But this is our textured flower. Post your results on Google Classroom. I'd love to see your beautiful flower project.